What are earthquakes? The shaking or trembling caused by the sudden release of energy, usually associated with faulting or breaking of rocks. Continuing adjustment of position results in aftershocks. What is the elastic rebound theory? Explains how energy is stored in rocks. Rocks bend until the strength of the rock is exceeded. Rupture occurs and the rocks quickly rebound to an undeformed shape. Energy is released in waves that radiate outward from the fault. The focus and epicenter of an earthquake. The point within Earth where faulting begins is the focus, or hypocenter. The point directly above the focus on the surface is the epicenter. Seismographs record earthquake events at convergent boundaries. Focal depth increases along a dipping seismic zone called a Banioff zone. Where do earthquakes occur and how often? 80% of all earthquakes occur in the Circum Pacific Belt. Most of these result from convergent margin activity. 15% occur in the Mediterranean Asiatic belt. Remaining 5% occur in the interiors of plates and on spreading ridge centers. More than 150,000 quakes. Saint. The economics and societal impacts of each. Building collapse, fire, tsunami, ground failure. What are seismic waves? Response of material to the arrival of energy fronts released by rupture. Two types: body waves P and S, surface waves R and L. Body waves P and S. Waves. Body waves P or primary waves, fastest waves, travel through solids, liquids, or gases. Compressional wave, material movement is in the same direction as wave movement. S or secondary waves, slower than P waves, travel through solids only. Shear waves move material perpendicular to wave movement. Surface waves R and L waves. Surface waves travel just below or along the ground's surface, slower than body waves, rolling and side to side. Movement, especially damaging to buildings. How is an earthquake's epicenter located? Seismic wave behavior. P waves are I first, then S waves, then L and R. Average speeds for all these waves is known. After an earthquake, the difference in arrival times at a seismograph station can be used to calculate the distance from the seismograph to the epicenter, times distance graph showing the average travel times for P and S waves. The farther away a seismograph is from the focus of an earthquake, the longer the interval between the arrivals of the P and S waves. 3 seismograph stations are needed to locate the epicenter of an earthquake. A circle where the radius equals the distance to the epicenter is drawn. The intersection of the circles locates the epicenter. How are the size and strength of an earthquake measured? Intensity, subjective measure of the kind of damage done and people's reactions to it. Isoseismal lines identify areas of equal intensity. Magnitude, Richter scale measures total amount of energy released by an earthquake independent of intensity. Amplitude of the largest wave produced by an event is corrected for distance and assigned on an open-ended logarithmic scale. What are the destructive effects of earthquakes? Ground shaking, amplitude, duration, and damage increases in poorly consolidated rocks. Can earthquakes be predicted? Earthquakes precursors, changes in elevation or tilting of land surface, fluctuations in groundwater levels, magnetic field, electrical resistance of the ground, seismic dilatancy model. Seismic gaps. Earthquake prediction programs include laboratory and field studies of rocks before, during, and after earthquakes. Monitor activity along major faults. Produce risk assessments. Can earthquakes be controlled? Graph showing the relationship between the amount of waste injected into wells per month and the average number of Denver earthquakes per month. Some have suggested that pumping fluids into seismic gaps will cause small earthquakes while preventing large ones.